Yeah, or you got your stick mic? I don't mind holding a stick mic for you.
Okay.
Because there's going to be so much road noise.
It's ready for a mic check when they're ready. Plug that one in. Mic check. That's good.
What's your mic levels?
Mine needs to be turned up.
We shouldn't have to put it at 10 like that.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting level? Tap it again. Okay, so that's good. So that's going to be channel 1.
I always have to turn it all the way up.
All right. Mic check. Check 1, 2. Check. Yeah, that should be fine. Because it's just getting to the yellow, so it doesn't have to go all the way.
Okay.
All right, we're good. I cut that off for right now.
Okay.
Just so we can talk and not be heard. Did you have a good weekend?
Yep.
Good.
Didn't do much.
Sometimes that's the best.
Did you?
We didn't do a lot. Cleaned the house all day yesterday. Went and spent money at Sam's and the grocery store and all that. So.
Are you over budget this time?
Always. I try to budget low to make me feel better about myself. And the whole Sam's trip was not even expected. That was the wife was like, "We need to go to Sam's." I'm like, "Oh my god."
I feel like if it was the inmates, the FBI would probably be here.
You had GBI, U.S. Marshals, SWAT team, Sheriff's Office, which SWAT falls under Sheriff.
Or the U.S. Marshals.
Exactly.
So that would be...
That's what I was thinking. The girl in the red pants over here. I was overhearing, she was about to leave, and one of the U.S. Marshals came up and said that GBI wants to talk to us, and she made the phone call. So maybe worth trying to see if she'll call. But she's hung around the whole time.
Okay.
The GBI was here, she was here, did her thing and left, and now she's come back. I don't know what's going on. It's either the inmate or Mr. Washington.
Was there an ambulance that came?
No. But by the time I got here, like it was still a very active scene. But they were just, what had happened at that point.
Oh, okay.
But when I got here, we had law enforcement lined up all the way to 4th Avenue.
Oh, wow.
And then this road was just a lot.
And it's probably an inmate. Because I feel like it was an officer-involved shooting.
Yeah. Linda told me when she finally came up here, she was like, I can't say anything, I can tell you it's not the inmates, but UBI's handling everything. And then she called me like 10 minutes later. I just literally sent her push notification. And she called me and was like, come back.
So maybe at that moment she thought it was.
Yeah. Now's your chance. You want to do it?
You can hold it.
All right. Mic check, mic check. Sheriff Davis on the way up. You're in my shape, dude. Straight, level ground. Morning, Sheriff.
Hey, buddy. What's up, Jeff? How you doing? All right, good to see you. Jason, how you doing? Micah, how you? All right. Aaron, how you doing? All right. Aaron, I see you on TV. I don't know if we've met. It don't matter. You tell me where to get. Get the sun in my face. All right. We good? We good? All right. Everybody ready?
Yep. 41 behind. All right.
Okay, you go ahead and get you set up.
He did it on purpose.
All right, everybody ready? We ready? Y'all ready? All right, very good. All right, what we have here this morning, we continue to follow. What we have here this morning, we continue to follow leads on the 4 escapees from last Monday. Earlier this morning, around 7:30, some members of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force were acting on a lead of a person of interest at apartment number 6 here at the Pines Apartments here at 2020 Vineville Avenue. When they knocked on the door, they were met with gunfire from inside the apartment. They backed away, waited for the SWAT team to come. When the SWAT team came, they went back to the apartment. At that time, a person who had been inside the apartment opened the door and told them that there was a person down inside the apartment. When they went in, they found an individual, a male individual, on the floor that had been a victim of a gunshot wound. Seems to have been self-inflicted. That person was taken to Atrium Medical Center for treatment, and that's what we have right now. We continue to follow leads in the case. Obviously, these escapees are our singular focus right now, and we've been working on it all through the weekend. We found the car Friday. Some information that was gathered from that recovery led us to more information, which led the Marshal Service and deputies to this location this morning. So we continue to follow leads. Right now, we're withholding the identity of the person that was in the apartment until we make sure all of their relatives have been notified. As I said, that person is not deceased. They're still undergoing treatment at the hospital. Because this was a multi-jurisdictional operation with U.S. Marshals, FBI, deputies involved in it, the GBI was called in to do the main investigation in it. At this time, there's no indication that any of the law enforcement officers on the scene fired any rounds, but the GBI is going to come in and do their work to investigate the incident that happened.
This is the first time we've heard from the Sheriff's Office specifically about the inmates in a week. So kind of walk through what the last week has been like and in terms of the response and the communication process.
Well, this is a unique kind of situation when you have people that have escaped and that we are following leads, and the work that the media has done to keep this out has created leads, has created information that has been very useful to us, and I wish I could tell you a little bit more about what we're doing, and probably once we get these folks in custody, we will we'll be able to release a lot. But suffice it to say, the information that is generated by the talk in the town is really helping us follow leads. We're following those footsteps. We feel that we're on the right path, and that we're going to continue on. Every move we make, every breakthrough in this creates more information for us to move to the next step. So these individuals will be captured.
So indirectly right now connected to the inmate escape, it was a tip. That's all we know right now.
It was a tip that brought the Marshal Service to this address. Tips that are generated by the media coverage, tips that are generated by our putting out information into the community. There's pressure being brought into certain elements of the community so that we can shake loose some information, and it seems to be working now. And the thing I would say to these individuals that are still out on the run, we're going to get you. We're going to find you. The footsteps are moving closer. We're moving closer. We have every local agency involved in this. We have the GBI, we have the FBI, the ATF, U.S. Marshal Service, all of the resources that those agencies bring to bear, they will be found. And so I would say if y'all stop running long enough to watch a little news or to go on the internet, we're going to get you. And so just know that we will not stop until these 4 individuals are back in jail. And that is the singular signal, that is the singular focus that we're on right now to get these individuals rearrested.
Just to clarify, nobody inside the home had any connection with fugitives?
That's under investigation. We were here because of a connection, a tip that gave us some information that somebody here, that really one of the fugitives may be here, or somebody here had some involvement in their escape. So all of it is tied into the escape case that we're working, and so that's what brought us here.
Was it an anonymous tip, or did somebody from here call you guys in?
Well, we don't want to talk about where we get our information from, but it was some information that was developed during the course of the investigation.
And I got a tip that fence over there was knocked down by either the sheriff's department or some law enforcement. Do you know if that was? I just want to clarify if it was or not.
I don't know. That's in the investigation. I do know that the SWAT team was called here, and there were some people who were evacuated from some neighboring apartments, and you can either get out through the front, but there's like some patio doors or some doors to the back, and during the time that they were evacuating some people, they may have brought them through this fence side over here. So that may be what's going on with that.
So there's been talks that they possibly could have left Middle Georgia since you guys received this tip. Do you guys believe that all 4 are still here and this is a Middle Georgia search, or is this going into other states or a statewide search?
Well, it's a search that'll take us wherever it might be. We've received information that a couple of them may be out of state or maybe in state, but we continue to follow those leads, and anybody associated with these individuals who are on the lam, we're going to get the information from them and move forward. So we get tips about where these individuals might be. We follow up on it, but anybody that's associated with them, any of their family members, any of their friends, any of their associates in crime, we're barreling down on those individuals to get any information that we can. Plus the tips that we get, those tips have been very, very useful for us. And remember, we have the reward money, up to $72,000 reward for any information that leads to the arrest of these individuals. So there's a lot of things at play here, and a lot of information that comes in, and we continue to follow up on those leads.
Is there any new information regarding maybe the connection between the 4? Is there any connection between the four?
We're still investigating that. There may be a connection between some of the four. Maybe one or two of them just saw an opportunity. So we're looking at that. There's all those kind of factors right now. But right now we're looking for all four of them equally, and that whichever we find, whoever we find, wherever we find them, that will be that person arrested, that person brought back to jail as we go.
Since it's on Facebook, it must be true. You've got the amateur sleuths who are concerned that the picture of the Challenger release and the one that was recovered are not the same car.
I'm glad you brought that up. These keyboard detectives need to let us do our job. We're not so foolish that when we find a vehicle that we don't know that that's not the vehicle that we're looking for. There was a lot of information that was gathered from that particular vehicle that helped us even to get to this point here. So when we make a recovery or we make a arrest or we go, we pretty well know who we're after and we pretty well know what we got. We do know that the individuals that had that car made some little alterations to it. I think they painted the wheels or did some things like that, and we sort of expected that. We didn't think that we were going to find the vehicle in exactly the same condition that it was whenever the escape happened. I mean, that anybody with any common sense that knows that you're looking for a particular car, you're going to try to alter it a little bit. So they did do that, but we had ways of knowing what car we were looking for, and we know we got the right car. There's no doubt about that. And the information that we gathered from recovering that car helped us further where we are now.
This isn't your first rodeo, but when you sit at home or in your office and you see those comments coming out, personally, how do you handle that?
Well, you have to not let it get next to you, because those folks that are commenting, they don't know what we know. They're not part of the investigation. They're not part of the law enforcement team of people who have been out here tirelessly from the day one of this. They're folks that are sitting in their house, looking at the news and making comment. That comment has no more bearing than anything. If they really knew something about what they were talking about, they could give us a call and potentially get themselves a reward. So to just speculate and to say that you know this or don't know that is really immaterial, and we really don't pay attention to it, to be honest with you.
Just to be clear, this initial confrontation that happened here, what time exactly did that happen?
It happened right around between 7 and 7:30. Yeah.
Okay. And then you said one man was in the hospital. You can't identify him yet, or whether he's an inmate or he's connected to the...
No. Now, I will say this. The person who is injured and the person in the hospital is not one of our escapees. I make that clear. He is not one of our escapees, but he is a person that we feel has knowledge of where they might be, that has knowledge of the escape, and who has some connection to at least one or two of the people whom we're looking for. So I'm glad you clarify that. This is not one of the escapees, but it is someone who we feel is very very beneficial and very crucial to our investigation.
Did you take anyone else into the custody from here?
There was another person in the apartment that was in there with the person that was injured. That person has been taken down for questioning.
I know you're not able to say who's injured, obviously. Are you able to say which of the inmates they're connected to? Probably not.
I'd rather not say right now. We will probably be giving out a little more information as we go. On this. This is a developing and evolving investigation, and we have a lot of agencies. We have a lot of law enforcement partners that are involved in this. As I mentioned before, that all of the federal agencies and state agencies that are helped, and so we're working on this, and we'll be getting out some more information as it goes. If it's actionable information and it's pertinent, we'll be letting you know.
What does it say that the car was found less than 2 miles from the LEC? This tip is just a couple of miles from the LEC. What does that say about the whole progress from a week ago Does that make us think that at least one or two of them are local?
Well, all of these individuals that we're looking for are local, and so I think with the exception of the one, but the Joey Fortner, he's from out of this area, but we still think he has local ties here. But all the other individuals are have local roots. Now that's not to say that they may not try to go someplace else where they can go hide, but all of this, and by the fact that we find the car closer and then find this closer, it just shows that local nexus and how very close that these individuals were to the LEC and to each other. So it's just following the leads. We'll follow the leads wherever they might be. If we get a lead to New York, we'll follow that. But
how active are the tip lines?
They're pretty active. We're getting some information through we got a couple of calls that somebody spotted another. You're going to find what you're looking for even after we found the Dodge Challenger on Friday. We still got a couple of calls that somebody had spotted it, which that's great. We'd rather somebody give us a tip on something that we already know. It shows that they're involved and shows that they want to help us out. So we are getting some information. It was tips that led us here. So those calls keep coming, and we want folks to keep calling. If you know something, hear something, people start talking, and we'll whatever that anybody hears, how insignificant that it might seem, we still want them to make that call. Make that call. The local numbers. I think there's some numbers that our public affairs has put out, through the FBI, as well as Crime Stoppers and those type of contacts.
Last thing for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're pretty close to Central and Miller back here.
Yeah.
You had a correspondence with the schools after the initial jailbreak. Have you been in touch with schools at all about this?
Well, I think they may have as a courtesy to call the schools, but there was no, in this particular incident, there was no connection to the schools. There was no danger or no possibility that this incident would spread to even any of the other neighborhoods here or even to the schools. So as far as the schools goes and as far as any other activity in this neighborhood, it's just business as usual.
Yeah, it's pretty contained.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yes, it's contained.
That's all I need.
All right, is that everybody?
Thank
All right,
you.
we got it. All right, all right. Thank you. All right, thanks, man.